I'm Katie, and I'm here to teach you all about the feelings of business. You heard it right, the feelings of business. And that's because, well, I myself have no background in business, and the feelings I've experienced so far have been a wild ride. So I just want to share with you, so maybe you don't feel so alone when starting a business. A little bit of background about myself is I have a bachelor's in psychology, I've worked in human services, and I have no business education or experience. So diving into a business for me has been quite a leap of faith. Going back to a few months ago, 8 or 9 months ago, is when I started my business. I woke up from, I think, a dream, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. I literally have to do this. And I hired a developer. So my business is a mobile app. So I hired a developer right away, right off the bat. You're experiencing these feelings of, do I trust this person? What if they mess everything up? What if it doesn't work out? So right off the bat, you're taking a leap of faith. You're taking a trust fall. You're falling. And so you have to kind of get used to that feeling of fear, of uncertainty, because, you know, as much as you might tell yourself, you know what's right, you know what to do, you got it. There's going to be so many vulnerable moments involved in this process of starting a business that it's okay. It's totally okay to feel those feelings. The process of getting to know the developer and sharing the idea and guiding this idea, it was really vulnerable, because, you know, you're sharing something that is special to you to another person, and you don't know what they truly think or feel. You don't know if they're invested in the business. You don't know if they want to represent the brand, business, and all of the above in a beautiful way, in the way that you would hope for. You know, over time, when you're working with someone, you're going to have these moments of tension, moments of maybe conflict, moments in which the business connection is tested. For example, with mine, me and my developer came to this moment in which he's such a great guy. He was really invested in the business, and we wanted to make this app together. Not as much so in a developer-founder relationship, but more, how can he invest his time to build this app and for us to be a team? And coming to that moment was quite hard, though, because from my end, I'm just like, are you sure? Like, are you sure you want to do that? Like, do you really believe in this business? And so it involves this process in which you have to trust others deeply. Trust your team deeply, that they're going to do what they can do to the best of their ability, and that it's going to work out, hopefully. It is quite a strong feeling of vulnerability and fear and uncertainty when you're aligning with a business partner, and you're just really hoping that they are as passionate and invested in the business as you are. And so give yourself some grace, and know that these feelings of fear and uncertainty are okay. And just like with every relationship, you're going to be taking risks. You're really going to be connecting with someone and just understanding that things could fail, you could break up. You could break up, but in this current moment, does it feel right? And are you willing to take that leap into the unknown with someone else? So there's that. I know, big stuff. The process over time, getting to know someone and building that business connection, it strengthens the bond over time, because when you know you're able to have uncomfortable conversations, sit through tension, sit through hardships, then the bond gets stronger, as most people probably do know with relationships, with friendships. And another important piece of the process of undoing is what I call it, because, you know, when you're starting a business, you're essentially opening your heart up for the world to see what you're passionate about. And so it's the process of undoing those fears that prevent you from doing that. You know, I have a few tips for you. First tip I have for you is that you're gonna mess up, and that's totally okay. For example, I have no marketing background or experience, and right off the bat, I'm posting on LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, and I'm not understanding the vibes of the different platforms. And there are very distinct vibes for different platforms, so you have to really get to know the different platforms and get to know your audience, get to know what it's going to look like. And so, at first I was posting the most random posts that I eventually deleted, and especially on LinkedIn. And so I came to realize that I'm gonna probably keep messing up. I'm gonna have to delete some more posts. I'm gonna have to reroute, but that's totally fine. And that is the process of learning, the process of growing. So you're gonna get uncomfortable. You're probably gonna make a few people goofy laugh at you because you're doing random stuff. And eventually you'll get it honed in, and some people will be able to guide you. And so that just brings me to the second tip, is find more connections, seek out more people that do know what they're doing, and they'll be able to guide you down the right path. Like, for example, I have met a few people that have backgrounds in business or have their own business, and they have given me such valuable tips for marketing, for kind of focusing in on specifics within the app as well. So, when you're crafting your vision, you have this idea, and then when you add more people to it, the idea might change, and that's totally okay. There is that feeling of a little bit of that loss of control, but inspiration comes when you release that control, and what you're creating can be a team effort as well. Another tip I have for you is yourself breaks. I remember, I think it was 1 or 2 months ago, I was reaching this point where I was so overwhelmed. I was like, how do people do this? This is crazy. And I was just upset, obviously, and overwhelmed. And I actually kind of, in a way, let that bleed over into my business relationship, in which, I'm overwhelmed, so I'm putting pressure on this person. And so you really have to be clear on what you're feeling so you can separate it from the business, so you can make sure that you step away, and this is not going to be impacting the business, but you're going to be able to take a break, and that's totally important, totally okay too. So those are some tips I have for you, and I want to share a bunch more because it's been quite a journey, and I love this. I love talking about the feelings of business. I think that the feelings involved are so unique and cool and hard and everything. So I hope that you learned something, or you took something away from this, and go for what you want, make your dreams happen, and it's just gonna be a good time, and a hard time, but it's gonna be a good time. So thank you so much for joining. I will see you in the next video.